Good day, everyone. I'm going to lower this because I'm shorter than the other speakers. But, good morning, good day, everyone. My name is Nondumiso Khumalo, and today I'm honored to have this privilege to share with you my journey to becoming a space weather forecaster at the South African National Space Agency. Okay. So today I'm around a lot of astronomers and space scientists, space physicists. So I'm sure you guys have heard about space weather, right? By the show of hands. Excellent. So I don't have to delve deeper. Okay, so before I start explaining what a space weather forecaster is, I'm just going to give a general definition of what exactly is space weather. So space weather refers to the conditions in space caused by our star, the sun, and how these conditions in space can affect satellites and technology that we have here on Earth. So basically, that is what space weather is all about, and I'm privileged to have that task of monitoring the conditions of the sun and how these conditions can affect the systems that we have here on Earth. So I know most of you are familiar about the image you see on my left, your right, of the sun, and you can see like this burst of particles, which we call a cloud of plasma, which is being directed towards our magnetosphere, which is our magnetic field. And so these particles, which we call coronal mass ejections, when they bombard our magnetic field, they get to interact with it, and this is how then we get geomagnetic storms that can affect the technology that we have here on Earth. Oh, no, I can't pass without mentioning this one. And we get the privilege of looking at these beautiful images of the sun at different wavelengths to show us the different features that are on the sun that can help us forecast or predict how the sun is likely to produce these events. Okay. So with that, as I mentioned, some of our technological systems are affected at Earth. One of my favorite examples is about satellites. So we all know satellites, they orbit us all the time. So now imagine these massive particles, energetic particles being directed towards Earth. Let's think about low Earth orbit satellites. So now when they bombard these satellites, of course, these are energetic particles, so they can pose a risk in damaging some of the electronics on these satellites, and we so strongly depend on them these days. You know, you can basically, most of the things we use today depend on them. So of course, these are important. And another thing is HF communication. I didn't mention this, but we also get from the sun these energetic bursts of radiation, right? That can affect the upper atmosphere, which is the ionosphere, which one of our researchers at SANSA, Dr. John Bosco Harabalema, who spoke yesterday, he specializes in that, the ionosphere. So now when you get these radiations from the sun, they can ionize the ionosphere, and then because we use the ionosphere for radio communication, you can only guess radio communication will get affected, right? But it's not all doom and gloom, right? There is an upside to space weather. I don't know who's had the privilege of experiencing auroras. Wow, awesome, cool. 2, 3, 4. Well, the rest of us can be fascinated by pictures, but maybe one day we'll get to go, hopefully. Yes, but when these streams of particles enter through the poles, so the magnetic field entering through the poles, they interact with the upper atmosphere and then with the ions there. So, and then you get these photons being emitted, giving rise to these beautiful, colorful, like lights in the sky, right? So that is the upside of space weather. So taking a step back, just looking at my study journey. So I'm from UKZN. You know what? I've been hearing UWC, UCT. We also hear from UKZN. Yes. Yes, so I had the privilege of doing a BSc in Applied Mathematics and Physics at UKZN in 2015. I have some of my previous classmates here as well. And I got an opportunity to pursue an honors degree as well at NASSP in 2018. And then I went on to do an MSc in Applied Mathematics still between these years, 2019 and 2023. But besides this academic journey, I always like to put these few points that you see there that I feel like is really good to point out. So during my academic journey, I realized that it's a good thing as well to, as much as it's good to focus on your academics, it's also good to have other things on the side, do other things on the side that can enhance your skills and besides what you are learning in class, like build yourself skills that you may need for the future when you go into the workspace eventually. So one of the things I was able to do, I did supplemental instruction. I was a supplemental instruction leader for undergraduate students, so basically tutoring some of the students. And at some point, I was the coordinator of the program. And the other thing I got the opportunity to do was to participate in what was called the Data Science for Impact and Decision Enablement, a vacation work program, which was offered at the CSIR in Pretoria. So we got the opportunity to do that during the school holidays, you see. So it's always good if you're on holiday, look for things, even if it's working at, even at the market, supermarket, anywhere, basically just getting those extra skills that you don't learn in class, basically. Okay. Yay. Now for the memorable moments that I had on my NASSP journey. Okay. I think I saw a pointer here. Okay, so the first one at the top is when I got the opportunity to visit SANSA. So these were the many facilities we got to visit during our NASSP trip, all right? So the first one was my first time at SANSA, not knowing I'll work there one day, but yeah. Yes, so there was a group of people, staff from SANSA as well as us who visited SANSA. And in the orange, okay, the purple dress is me, which I don't know if you could see, but that's me. And in the middle, in orange, is my current boss, Dr. Mpochi Sapungo, who was also part of the NASSP program, you see. So I was standing like next to my boss. I didn't know it. But yeah, now I know. Yeah, so, and then this was, of course, us at the Cape Town International Airport before my first flight. So, yay, NASSP gave me my first flight. Yeah, it was my first time on a plane. I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, I'm glad NASSP was the first program that provided that opportunity for me. And here we at HOTEC. I think this was called the Quiet Room, if I'm not mistaken, but we visited HOTEC as well. And maybe I hope some of the students can spot themselves there when we were at UCT with the rest of the students there from the UCT node. And SALT as well, we visited SALT, had the privilege of visiting SALT. And yeah, yesterday, we were at SAO. I was really hoping to stand where we were standing and take like a before and after picture. But hey, I was like, oh, these were tents. But it's fine. But it's fine. It had food, so it's fine. Okay, yes, so these were the wonderful opportunities I was privileged enough to have to be able to see how the space industry is. Because when you're in class, you don't know the practicality of what you're actually studying. So to get the opportunity to visit these facilities broadened my mind and opened my mind. Okay. So how my journey at SANSA started, it started in 2021 when, by God's grace, offered the opportunity to have a two-year fixed contract when I was still in university. And then because Space weather, okay, I did NASSP, right? But I was more on the astrophysics side. So space science, I only got a glimpse of it. So I wasn't too particular of exactly what space weather is. So with this, at SANSA, we underwent a training process where, of course, we're taught about space weather. Okay, I think I need to stand now. Okay. We were taught about space weather, producing space weather bulletins, which we do on a daily basis. I'll show you that later. Of course, data analysis skills, soft skills, like you need soft skills like presenting. Yes, and then, but my most fascinating one, which was really nice for me, was getting the opportunity to visit the UK Met Office in Exeter in the UK to complete our training. So it was part of the international phase of the training. Yes, and then just recently, so this was my first international trip on the training program or process. And my second one was last year when we got this opportunity to visit Azerbaijan in Baku in October 2023 for the International Astronautical Congress. And just a few pictures that I like to show. So this was on your, I can't carry it around. Okay, so there. This was, okay, I'll start there by the top. That was me in our old Space Weather Center, just practicing our public tours because we do host those. And so this was when we went to Baku. Thank you so much. How do you point? Okay, okay. So this was when we went to Baku and I was interacting with these students from Costa Rica, which was really nice. And this is my other colleague, which we started which were employed in that training process. She's Boitumelo Makobe. She's a meteorologist. Okay, so just to mention as well, so there were 4 of us initially, right, who went through this training program to become space weather forecasters. So there were 4 of us, and the rest, meteorologist and NASSP 1. Yes, so she's a meteorologist, and this was just when we visited the Met Office in Exeter. This is outside that building. Okay. And another exciting thing is, in November 2022, we launched a 24/7 Space Weather Center at the Harmonis facility here in the Western Cape. So, okay, so which brings me back to the reason why more of us were needed to be employed, right, by SANSA back then, and the reason why we had to undergo this training to become forecasters. It was anticipating this launch of the new Space Weather Center, which was supposed to open in 2022. Remember, we arrived in 2021. So now it's officially open, and you're all welcome to come visit us. We're always open 24/7. You can just pop in. I'll let you know which times we do the public tours as well. So this is, it was opened by or launched by Dr. Blaine Zimande, and this is our late managing director, Dr. Leanne McKinnell. And okay, so there were a lot of delegates attending that launch, so it was really good because they were coming from all over Africa, even in America, so internationally as well. So it was a really auspicious day. And oh yes, and now we have additional members as well. These are new space weather forecasters that have recently as well undergone training, but now we're working together as permanent space weather forecasters. And so these 2 are also meteorologists, and this is a, yes. So there's 2 of us now out of 8. Okay, so that's good. And yes, this is just outside the building when it was being opened by Dr. Blaine Demande, and of course the rest of the team. Okay. So what do we do what do I do or we do as space weather forecasters? So this is a team, this is our team. And as I mentioned, this is Dr. Mpochi Sapungu, which is the head of space weather, and she's our managing our manager actually, and this is the rest of my team. And Selma Khan, which was also from UK's, and then she studied under NASSP. And yes, of course, this is me, and meteorologist, but I think Tebo Khongela, he studied statistics in UCT. And so part of what we do on a daily basis, we monitor space weather conditions and how the sun changes on a day-to-day basis and how those conditions can impact us here on Earth. We also compile what we call space weather bulletins. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I didn't see that. I was looking at this. Yes, we compile space weather bulletins, which you see here on this is my right, your left. Yes, so we do this on it. So this just gives you, in the past 24 hours, what was happening on the sun, what do we predict to happen next, and is it likely to affect us or not? And this is how the center inside, how it works. This is the rest of the team, and this is the beautiful view of all the images of the sun and how that helps us monitor the conditions that are there. And this is what was me giving a tour to some of students who visit our facility. It often happens, yeah. So people just can book and they can come around to visit our center for a tour. So yes, of course, so I promote space weather by giving tours to the public. And with that said, there's, so every Wednesday at 11 a.m., the whole SANSA Hermanus facility is open for public tours. But even if you're around Hermanus, you're welcome to phone anytime. Just say, can you please schedule this time for me? I'm sure they'll make a plan just for you. So you can, you're welcome to come. Oh yes, I think I thought this was a last slide. I don't know. Okay, so just to round everything up, I just want to mention a few things that I think helped me. One of them is that apply for opportunities to get experience, even if you don't think you qualify. And I'm so glad that Malema was mentioning some of those things. I was like, I'm so glad you went into detail with that, because now, because I also wanted to mention it, like sometimes you disqualify yourself because you look at a job description like, oh my gosh, they want 5 years, 3 years, and I don't have these things because I only just came from university. But this was a situation for me as well. When I saw the post for space weather forecaster, what is a space weather? I don't know what a space weather forecaster is, but between there was like, they wanted meteorology because they have experience with forecasting. And somewhere, somehow, I saw physics, but like, no, man, I have a BSc in physics. I don't know what a space weather forecaster is, but I have physics. So I was like, let me give it a go and see. You see, it works. And so, and the next point is, which Malema also mentioned, look for opportunities, jobs, prior to you completing your degree. If you know that in the next few months, or not weeks, I almost said weeks, in the next few months, you will be finishing your degree soon, why not start applying for a job rather than completing your degree and then thinking, what should I do next? You see, if you plan on getting a job, start early before you complete your degree, right? And this was advice from okay, no, the last one was an advice from a friend. She said, must always have a CV and a cover letter always prepared just in case, because you never know. Opportunities come right, left, center, up, down. They'll always come out somewhere. So it's always good for you to always have a CV and a cover letter prepared that you can just alter whenever any opportunity comes your way. And with this said, I'd like to take the opportunity to be able to speak in front of you all. It was really an honor. And thank you, NASSP, for all the opportunities that you afforded to us. And I hope that you continue to afford it to the other incoming generation as well. Thank you so much.